Okay, the whole point of this video is to make one very simple, pointed thing crystal clear. There are no exceptions to the rules, because there are no rules. People are capable of a large amount of different things. The same person who seemed a saint one day can seem like a monster the next. See, when we go examining the legal case and all the evidence I put on the internet, there's a lot of things occurring behind the scenes. I put some of it out there, not all of it, just enough to make certain people nervous. See, I had spoke of the application of guerrilla warfare. I don't even have to use violence to threaten or intimidate anyone. I simply use the mere suggestion of a possible threat of violence. Under the law, the application that I can willingly and actively choose to defend myself. That is the whole purpose of the Second Amendment. That is the reason why we have a preamble to the Bill of Rights, which states to protect against misconstruction and abuse of its, referring to the Constitution, which is where the government gets its power from. So, to protect against misconstruction and abuse of government powers, certain declaratory clauses have been added. I've exercised free speech. I've exercised free press. I have created a public spectacle of the whole affair. Every time that an ambush has been tried to set up for me, for example, Pat Lamb transferring the case to Hutchison, but not informing my attorney or me. And then a clerical error making it a bench trial. So I'd have a bench trial in front of a judge that I put out an 8-page letter on that I mentioned in an 8-page statement as being corrupt. And that I know this not simply because of the rumors and everything else, but for the simple fact that he said that Duckworth was the military, which is a direct violation of Posse Comitatus, the National Militia Act, and a number of different things. State police are not the military. They're not even the fucking National Guard. The National Guard is the militia of the state, by the way. They are the highway patrol. That's it. Now, what it essentially comes down to is this. I've used their own actions, their own words against them as ammo. They're mad. See, we are Americans, and in America, we are not a democracy. We're a republic. Actually, we're a democratic republic, but the more underlying principle is that we are a republic. We are a society and a government established by law. The founding fathers of this country established the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, to clarify that we are not simply another form of government which claims absolute power over man, but that we acknowledge the power of the individual states, and more importantly, the individual person. As I pointed out in various videos, the Second Amendment gives me a recognized right, according to the government, to use violence in defense of myself. Bad Elf versus the United States says I can use that right to defend myself, even against a police officer in the case of a false arrest. Now, this has been somewhat narrowed down in Brady versus Ohio, which also becomes an issue with the exculpatory evidence and the exclusionary rule, in that well, most importantly, the actions must be proven to be taken in bad faith. Now, out of fear, the prosecutors taking actions which appear to be more so in bad faith, which sort of tilt the scales in their favor, which goes directly into my whole issue with the prosecutor's office, that they are seeking a conviction and not merely justice. See, if they were seeking justice, having been given the evidence the first time when I fired Mega Winters, and the second time during the first psyche bout, and then brought up the second time during the second psyche bout, the third time, then they would quite emphatically not be worried about trying to force a conviction, trying to tilt the scales and put it before Judge Hutchison. But they would be looking at what is really going on, the issue of the cops falsifying evidence and everything else. Instead, they have proven themselves co-conspirators, seeking conviction and not justice, ignoring their charter, ignoring that which gives the prosecutor's office the authority to prosecute under the pretext of seeking justice. Now, this is a very scary thing for a lot of people, primarily those in power, because I'm relatively a nobody. I really don't care about politics, never have, but I'm starting to. See, their fear, their concern, isn't that I'm going to commit a violent act. Oh, no. They would love that. They have an army of people they think can defend them, they can hide behind, that will defend them and protect them. I don't really care. To be honest, I don't think they could stop me if they tried. More importantly, I'm doing something they didn't expect. I'm putting all this out there for everyone to see. I'm creating an environment where, and I didn't really intend on this, but it is occurring, that I'm becoming seen as somewhat of a leader in the community. There's a lot of people chomping at the bit, wanting to see if I can actually do the things I say I can do. If I'm really that good. See, I'm not the pretty boy that we've come to see in action movies. I don't have six-pack abs. I'm not any sort of fine physical specimen of a man. In fact, I look like most of you out there. I do that pitching so I can just blend in the beard and everything else. Even got a John Deere hat. Funny thing about it is appearances don't mean anything. We're so guided by what we see because none of us really can feel what's going on. A lot of us do. So the more they push, the more they fight, the more they prove me right, the more they kind of make me a leader. And that's what they're scared of. Because me alone, yeah, I can do some damage. Me teaching other people to think, to use the laws and the very things that this government supposedly adheres to against it, to actually see that people can use justice on their side to make the system work by getting rid of the corruption and the cancer that's invested in it. Yeah, that's their fear. Not how badass I am. And in the end, well, it is what it is.